everyone. Welcome into Questions for Reflection. I am Susan Farmer from Astrology and Soul. And here we are with another episode exploring how the planets shape the energies and then what we tend to experience in life. So what we're going to cover in this video, like what's coming up for you? What's been coming up in your thoughts and your mind? And why is that giving us, you, me, some pretty big clues for the next half a year? And why is it happening? We're gonna throw in some technical stuff just super fast because this video is going to be short and quick today, and then move on to the whys. The whys, because that's what I find the most important. Remember the 20% off sale on my website, astrologyandsoul.com. It's for the video reading. Don't forget the 20% off sale. I may have said that twice. Go to my website, astrologyandsoul.com. It is for the video reading. It's for 60 minutes where I just talk to you and tell you things. You get to put in a specific question, or if you don't want, I can just, see what I see. And that is going on through Halloween. So what's that? In just a couple days. The promo code is QFR. Questions for Reflection, capital QFR. And then I'm starting a goal, yes, to get 100 followers. It just makes me laugh by the end of the year, or better yet, the winter solstice. I think that would be super cool. I'm very young. I've stopped, started. I don't know if you guys have ever done that in anything in your life or in your goals. And I'm like, no, I'm doing this. I'm going for it. So if you would please follow, subscribe so I can hit my goal, I'd be so happy. Any moment now, I'm just warning you, my doorbell is going to ring because my plumber is here. So I am going to have to pause. So if there's some awkwardness, sorry. It's what I had to do to get this done today. I am filming day of, which is not normal. But there is a lot that has been going on. So has there been a lot going on for you? Which leads us right into the question for reflection of the day. What's on your mind? That's it. Short, simple. What's on your mind? Literally take some time, and I would track this, especially for the next few days, even a week, like when you're not realizing you're thinking, and then it creeps up into your conscience. What have you been thinking about? This past weekend was a really strong reminiscing. It was reminiscing energy. Okay, doorbell ringing. Sorry, guys. Hold on. Okay, back on. Thank you for your patience. So like I was saying, the question for reflection is what's on your mind, because this past weekend was a time truly to look back. And at first I was like, what's that going to mean? But then I really saw it. Also, we've had Mercury come into play with these outer planets that I've talked about in the past. I don't know how many times. Go back and watch those videos. So Mercury's hitting Uranus, Mercury's hitting Neptune, and then Mercury's hitting Pluto, as well as Mars. So this is more about the Pluto. And I wrote that there is a blog I wrote that's on my website and also on Facebook, kind of about Pluto and Mars and how it's kind of an explosion. So go back and review that. And then just really take some time. This is giving you clues as to what's moving out and also what's moving in. Now, how is that going to work exactly? I don't really know, but I do know that that's what all this is. So take some time, literally track it and be like, okay, so I was washing my dishes and then this was in my mind, or I was driving in my car and then this was in my mind. See if you can put some of those dots together, because that's really going to give you some clues. So what was the subject of reminiscing over the past weekend? And then as the days go on, we are building to that Mars-Pluto eruption, which is going to cause some of the irritation, the obsession, the frustration. Well, it's the Mercury causing the obsession with Pluto, where your mind just can't let go of things. And I seriously keep seeing these crazy, weird things that do have a history, however, coming up in my mind that I'm obsessing about. So how has everything from these past few months that you've seen in your life, with Pluto going back into Capricorn? Now, he went back into Capricorn on the 1st or 2nd. I believe it was the 1st of September. This is the last time all of these focused, personal, they're called personal planets because they really make up a lot of our personality. They project a lot of the things and interests that we're going to have, our instincts, our wiring, and they also trigger a lot of our experiences. So this happened with Venus. Venus went and hit all these in the middle of October. Mercury's doing it now, and I can really feel this obsession with some of these thoughts. And then Mars is building now, and it will happen. It happens, I think, this coming Sunday by degree, and that's when the fuses could blow. Mercury's doing it now. So if you think, what am I thinking about? What's coming up for me? What was I reminiscing about? As these personal planets hit Pluto for the last time in Capricorn, it's really giving us a bigger picture view of what's being moved out. So Capricorn is about Dharma, things with history, stuff that built with time, has a lot to do with work ethic and reputation. And it's also a very practical, pragmatic side. Now, the fact that our elections are happening now is no brainer. And the fact that astrology and all the energies were put into this process whenever the world began, it's like, not a coincidence, right? So how I'm always saying the symbolism of what's happening versus what's really happening, when you start putting those two things together, but especially within you, is when you've hit diamonds and you can really help yourself sort things out. I don't know about you, but I stress about making decisions, or I stress about, oh, why haven't I gotten over that? Or why am I still thinking about this? And it just really helps you see those processes. So we're hitting the mind moment today with the Mercury, and then Mars is the courage to move on, or the explosion, or all of that. Now, Mars and Pluto are going to meet again 2 more times until spring, although those are going to be in Leo and Aquarius, and both oppositions. So whatever's happening now, you are going to see echoes of that in the springtime. So have you been fast to irritation and obsession lately? Watch to see if that starts happening. And what does it have to do with? Can you find the root for looking since what, 15 years, since 2008? For me, it's just so interesting, because mine, the reason I even started thinking about this was because I've had vertigo since I had vertigo come on Sunday, and now it's Tuesday. And yesterday was super bad. And it kind of honestly felt like a Mercury retrograde, where I was being tricked into being down. I could not stand up without getting super nauseous and everything spinning. And the night before that, I went to a Halloween party with people I haven't seen in years, and I have a long history with them. So I know I've talked a lot about this, but when Pluto went into Capricorn and hit my my IC, I'm sorry, that is when my husband passed away. So that's my fourth house. So when I was telling you what Capricorn is about, it is these structures, it is these things, it is this dharma. And wherever Pluto goes, it's ready to, I was going to say dissolve to be nice, but it's not dissolve. It's going to shatter them. It's ready to break through all the bullshit you're telling yourself. Now, my husband dying isn't bullshit, but what happened after my husband died is my house literally fell apart because I was taking care of my kids. That's where my focus went. So I had this beautiful house that was all kept up, and the yard was just amazing, and everything was in top-notch shape. And that all went to hell over the past 15 years. And also at this party, these are people that I hung out with my husband. We were like couples that hung out together on the weekends all the time. So they sat and told stories about Rick. So between that and then having the vertigo, and the crazy thing is my house is all like starting to come together. Like you saw the plumber just came, and he is doing a fabulous job and working on a bunch of things that I have let go. My yard got it's just been the past week. Like I worked on my yard a lot in the summer, but in this past week, these little odds and ends to really start the new chapter and get the house and land, which is fourth house, which is where this all sits for me. They've just been like calling me and getting back with me out of the blue and really tying up these loose ends. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's so interesting. Since September 1st, this last jaunt of Capricorn, Pluto, because Pluto went into Capricorn again, September 1st, and is leaving on the 19th of November. So what are you checking off your list? Like, what's been coming up? And how does that associate with something that was happening 2008 to 2012? Now, maybe you're experiencing this different. Just because mine is a tying up of loose ends, yours could be a, hey, here, I'm putting this in front of you to say consciously, this is a new direction I want to go. These personal planets are so important, and when they come in, they're rarely looked at because they happen so frequently. But when we're talking about a planet, Pluto, which is the oddest planet of our solar system with his rotation, and he goes in and out of our solar system as he's going in the hyperbelt, it's like an odd time opposing Mars, which is going to bring some frustration. And I mean, you don't want to scare people, right? But Mars-Pluto has a history of being very dynamic, and it is in one of the hardest tense conversations, which is an opposition. So I have been feeling more and more and more angst. And between Sunday and Monday, when I just had to lay down and think, I thought I was going to lose my sleep. Like, I'm like, I have so much to do. There just feels to be this inner push of like, I have to wrap this up, and I have to wrap this up, and I have to wrap this up. And it seems to be stemming from this energy. So take some time, think about what's on your mind, think about what came up over the past weekend, think about, are there loose ends tying up, or do you feel like you're being pushed in a different direction with tying up loose ends? It is a new direction, right? So it's just in the way you look at it. Anyway, I can't wait to see you on the next episode. And I really take some time to think about this one. The vertigo forced me to take the time and put all these dots together. And I had forgotten Mercury, your mind was at play right now. And so I was like, what in the heck is going on? It's not something I deal with normally. So is there something that's come up for you that's made you have to sit and ponder? Is there a frustration that's come up that's made you have to look and see what dots, like, what can you put together? Me putting all this together, like, wow, my life changed significantly when Pluto went into Capricorn. And a lot of stuff rotted and decayed and died, like my house and my yard, and it just got yeesh over time. And then to be hanging out with friends who were talking about the before days and all the good times and all the jokes and all the fun and our big group. And sometimes I love hate those times. They're hard for me. And it really made me reminisce on, and wow, like all these people, I do have calls into these people to help with the house, but I mean, usually it takes a minute. So to have it all be like boom, 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 and people say, I can get you in today. And I'm just they call back, hey, can I get you in tomorrow? I had to lift my cement because my foundation is falling. Is that not synchronistic? So do you guys remember? I had to replace my roof in August. At the same time, I saw my foundation, which the fourth house is your foundation. So my foundation was falling. And the guy called me back. I called him. He said, I can't get to you probably till next spring. He called me back that night and said, can I come tomorrow? And lifted. I mean, crazy. Anyway, take some time. Think about it for you. What house is it in for you? If you know, Google it, because those keywords for each house will give you a really good, just a really good starting point. All right. Talk to you later. Bye.